Allah is when you are in need. And this is why one narration says, when Allah loves His worshipper, He creates tests in that worshipper's life. Why tests? Why calamities? Why difficulties? So that the person can call out to Allah and worship Him in a better way. In a better way. And I'm sure we are all witness to the weakness of man. That when we have everything, you have health, you have a beautiful family, you have wealth, you have no stress, you have a good job, you have... Sometimes we come in, we will fulfill our salah with concentration levels, inshallah, that are decent. But the minute you have a problem, your concentration level is slightly better. The bigger the problem, the closer you are to Allah. So Allah says, when I love you and I want you to get closer to me, I just create a little bit of what you might term negativity in your life. But I know it is just because I want to bring you closer to me. Allahu Akbar. So, Inna Allah idha ahabba abdan ibtalahu. When Allah loves a slave of His, a worshipper of His, then Allah tests him. Allah puts these trials in his life. My brothers and sisters, when you have a trial in your life, do not look at it as something negative. Look at it as an opportunity to get closeness to Allah and promise Allah that, Ya Allah, when you take away this suffering of mine, I will not go back to my old ways, or I will not take a step backward in my worship of you, Ya Allah. Sometimes we make a dua, Ya Allah, I've suffered a loss, help me, I need to pay this payment, I need to do this and do that. And we come for Salatul Fajr, we are here for Dhuhr, we are crying after Salah, in Salah, and we are crying out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The minute suddenly things are made easy and you've made a big profit and you manage to pay back, we find ourselves dilly-dallying even at the time of Salah. What happened, my brother? He says, no, my debt is paid now. My debt is paid now. So, were you worshipping Allah only because you had a problem? If that was the case, we really have a lot to correct within ourselves. But I'd like to think, and I'd like to hope that us who are here, the believers who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we realize that even when we are in goodness, we still need to turn to Allah. We still need to call out to Allah. Ya Allah, I thank you for the gifts you have bestowed upon me. And this is why a shukru, gratitude to Allah, is a great act of worship. A shukru ala ni'am, to thank Allah for the gifts you have. You would firstly need to sit and ponder over, what are the gifts I have? Today we are breathing, we have eyesight, we have so much. When we see others who are perhaps lacking in health or in eyesight, may Allah grant everyone cure. We would realize immediately, Ya Allah, you have blessed me. Alhamdulillahi alladhi afani. I thank Allah who has granted me such good health, who has protected me from what He has tested someone else with. This is part of the gift of Allah upon us. So, to look at those who may not have and immediately thank Allah for what you have is a great act of worship, which sometimes we lack. We look at a beggar begging and we are thinking about whether or not to give them, and we forget for a moment that the first thing I need to do is thank Allah, it's not me. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Thank Allah, Ya Allah, you have kept them in this way. Grant them ease. I really thank you, O Allah, for having kept me in a better way. I thank you for having kept me in a better way. And for that, you will become charitable to prove that this wealth is actually not yours. Al-malu malullah. The wealth belongs ultimately to Allah. He decides. And so, when He has given us the capacity to give from that wealth, we should make sure that we have not been stingy or we have not been miserly, but we have actually given out.